We are starting 10 minutes before, so that after the talk we'll take a break and then we do the guided meditation. So please, if you have the Madhupindika Sutta part on page 2 in the printout, that will be the one that we are reading now. We have read this in one of the sutra classes. Madhupindika refers to the honey bowl, because the teaching is as sweet as honey bowl. This is also connected with our insight observations. See how a thought is formed and how our world is created based on these experiences. So you may need to process this a little bit, and I have put Pali below and then English before that. And let's read the English part together. Eye consciousness arises dependent on the eye and sights. The meeting of the three is contact. Contact is a condition for feeling. What you feel, you perceive. What you perceive, you think about. What you think about, you proliferate. What you proliferate about is the source from which a person is beset by concepts of identity that emerge from the proliferation of perceptions. This occurs with respect to sights known by the eye in the past, future and present. Pali is Chakkunchauso paticca rupecha uppajjati chakku viññānaṁ Tinnam sangati passo, passapacchaya vedana, yang vedeti tang sanjanati, yang sanjanati tang vitakketi, yang vitakketi tang papancheti, yang papancheti tato nidanang purisang papancha sanya sankha samudacharanti, atitanagata paccuppannesu chakku viññayesu rupesu. And the ear consciousness arises dependent on the ear and sounds. Sotan chauso paticca saddech uppajjati sota viññāna. And it goes on with every human experience with the senses. And it's a really good way to get bored about how you think it may not be clear to you in your first reading, so let's get back in reading it a couple of times until I think that's a way to become familiar with the text. Eye consciousness arises dependent on the eye and sights. Do you get it? Eye consciousness. So you need to have internally something which is the eye. And then what is the other part that needs to be there? What did you say? A sight, something to see, right? So then eye consciousness arises. So now you have an object and you have the eye, so eye consciousness arises. And then something very, very important, and is also a part of dependent co-origination, comes next. The meeting of the three is contact. Meeting of what three? You all see that? Okay. And consciousness is also part of the dependent origination, right? You have viññāna paccaya nama rupa. Consciousness leading to name and form. We have it on a side, which if we won't, we will go there, but let's look at this puzzle for now. Contact is a condition for feeling. Any question on that? No. What kind of feelings can there be? Three kinds. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. And then it says, what you feel, yang sanjanati, you perceive. No, yang vedeti tang sanjanati. Yang vedeti, what you feel, yang vedeti, you perceive. Tang sanjanati. Sanjanana is a Sanskrit and Pali and Sinhala word. Sanjanana is perceiving something. And the word perception comes from this word, perception. So you know, you recognize that this has a form, this has a color, this has these features. This is at the very basic conditioning process. What you perceive, yang sanjanati, tang vitakketi, you think about. Did you think before that? No, it happened instantaneously. And now, thinking has a person getting involved. Before that, there was a process. Eye, sights, consciousness, you see different pieces. Now, these are also involving a person, but for some thinking to happen, a real personality should be involved. Someone getting caught up with all these. The flow, that is like the input for you. What you think about, you proliferate. Yang vitakketi tang papancheti. That is the Pali. What you think about, you proliferate. Example, please.
See something, you are trying to make some stories about it.
Yeah, details, stories, blaming, having thoughts, remembering, going after it, taking revenge, hating it, disliking, judging. All these things are proliferations, are many impurities involved, no pure states, all the hindrances. What you proliferate about is the source from which a person is, so there is a person making now, beset by concepts of identity. Now, each person has different concepts about different things. Someone relates to the world in different ways. World views are different, and that is the identity that a person has, that emerge from the proliferation of perceptions. Unimaginable number of perceptions one has made makes more perceptions, more proliferations, more papanchas. Papancha is a word that you need to remember. Papancha means proliferations here. Stories. Things that are formed. Sankara is another word for that, right? Sankara, formations. This occurs with respect to sights known by the eye in the past, future and present. So, can you see the future from here? You see it through proliferations. Thank you. Because this is, I think, part of overthinking also. Anything that is related to future, plans or otherwise. So this is what it says. So these pieces, this is what the Buddha says. This is also the source of all the fights in the world. quarreling between husband and wife or friends and everybody because they are caught up in proliferations. They didn't see the origin of it. Now they are, based on past, present and future experiences, they fight. Something that somebody did a couple of days ago or today or some other time. And this is, if any of these processes didn't happen, if the I consciousness did not arise dependent on I and sights, there won't be any contact. Read the other, the opposite way. And there won't be contact, won't condition any feeling. If you didn't feel, nothing to perceive. If you didn't have anything to perceive about, you don't have anything to think about. If you didn't have anything to think about, you don't have anything to proliferate about. If you didn't have anything to proliferate about, then you don't have a source to make an identity based on what emerges from proliferations and perceptions, based on the past, present or future sides. That's the negation side. The undoing of a personality, of a person. So that also is important when you take into account. And earlier, you read in that same page, you go to page 1 and to the end. What is the ending of the world? Please read that part. Dependent on the I and forms, there arises I consciousness. The meeting of the three is contact. From contact as a requisite condition comes feeling. From feeling as a requisite condition comes craving. And right there, now from the remainderless cessation and fading away of that very craving comes the cessation of clinging. From the cessation of clinging comes the cessation of becoming. From the cessation of becoming comes the cessation of birth. From the cessation of birth, then aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress and despair all cease. Such is the cessation of this entire mass of stress and suffering. This is the ending of the world. Now it says craving has to end. The other parts are there still, dependent on the I and forms. There arises I consciousness. So even when you are enlightened, definitely I consciousness arises. Because you have ended craving, that I consciousness does not associate with any craving afterwards. The meeting of the three is contact. From contact as requisite condition comes feeling. From feeling as a requisite condition comes craving. So the feeling can be pleasant, painful, or neither painful nor pleasant, but you don't indulge in any of that. You have seen the ending. So this part about cessation comes with ending all craving. And how does that happen? You shrink your sense bases through meditation, allow them to disappear, and you enter into deeper consciousness, and you are, I don't know whether I should say deeper consciousness or deeper samadhi, somewhere where there is less contact with the outer world. When you have, that is called seclusion. You are secluded from the outer experiences, and in that seclusion you don't see any objects, sights, forms, anything to perceive and create craving, and you dry out cravings, sources of craving. So it doesn't happen by sitting around and doing nothing. It comes only through sitting and understanding the process and going into deeper meditation. So that's what I needed to encourage. And if you go to Yeah, Satipatthana Sutta, we are still here with the inside part, with the feelings. Let's get there. In this printout, it's page 4. I don't know, there is another printout. So it's the part after number 3. Monks, please read with me. How does a practitioner remain established in the observation of the feelings in the feelings? Whenever the practitioner has a pleasant feeling, he is aware, I am experiencing a pleasant feeling. Whenever he has a painful feeling, he is aware, I am experiencing a painful feeling. Whenever he experiences a feeling which is neither pleasant nor painful, he is aware, I am experiencing a feeling, I am experiencing a neutral feeling. When he experiences a pleasant feeling based in the body, he is aware, I am experiencing a pleasant feeling based in the body. When he experiences a pleasant feeling based in the mind, he is aware, I am experiencing a pleasant feeling based in the mind. When he experiences a painful feeling based in the body, he is aware, I am experiencing a painful feeling based in the body. When he experiences a painful feeling based in the mind, he is aware, I am experiencing a painful feeling based in the mind. When he experiences a neutral feeling based in the body, he is aware, I am experiencing a neutral feeling based in the body. When he experiences a neutral feeling based in the mind, he is aware, I am experiencing a neutral feeling based in the mind. That's all. This is how the practitioner is now the insight part, Vipassana part. This is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the feelings in the feelings. Observation of the feelings from inside of the feelings or outside of the feelings. Or observation of the feelings from both the inside and the outside. He remains established in the observation of the process of coming to be in the feelings or the process of dissolution in the feelings, or both in the process of coming to be and the process of dissolution. Or he is mindful of the fact there is a feeling here until understanding and full awareness comes about. He remains established in the observation, free, not caught up in any worldly consideration. That is how to practice observation of the feelings in the feelings, O monks. That's all about feelings. Easy. Because about the body you did 6 aspects. Breathing, and then 4 postures, you went to many postures, everything you do, 4 elements, 32 parts of the body, and the 9 stages of a corpse in decay. You did all that, and then you did the insight stages. Now with feelings, it's simplified. It doesn't have that many details, because you begin with the 3 feelings, and you divide it into 2. Samisa and Niramisa, bodily and something that you feel with the mind. But you need to patiently sit through and catch them as they occur, as they arise. Whether there is a base for this. What is the base? Is this felt through the body, or is it felt through the mind? That's all you need to be aware of. But then come to the inside part. This is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the feelings in the feelings. Observation of the feelings from inside of the feelings or outside of the feelings. Now clarify that for me. There is no good or bad feeling in Dhamma language. Use pleasant, painful, or neutral. Not to confuse everybody here, okay? What were you saying?
Outside maybe from the eyes, ears, nose and the things. When
That's
you-
inside, and what you perceive, right? So, come back to that always. This is a game between what is internal and what is external, and how a feeling is formed based on this internal and external experience. Now, you feel zest, joy arising in your hands, somebody said in the interview. So, explain that to me based on these feelings. Now, joy is a feeling, a pleasant feeling. You don't crave it, it's a meditation feeling, you like it though. Because it gives you the sense that, oh, something is right with my practice, let me as well continue this. So it is a pleasant feeling, there is no question on that. How did you feel it? Internally you had the body, and externally this, it's not external, but within it you have this source, zest, joy that is manifesting, but not too external, but you will have to now take it as external, and you become conscious on it. And the meeting of the three is contact. And that immediately, this happens so fast, and you know it is a pleasant feeling, and there the decision comes, now I need to hold on to this. But if you proliferate about it, what did Bhante talk about this feeling? Is it good to hold on to this? Is it bad to hold on? Then the pleasant feeling disappears. And proliferations may kill it, kill the experience, and may leave it to disappearance, lead it to disappearance. So, not having too much thoughts, some people had that problem. As I recall in the interview experiences, when you are in a place where you may as well feel lost, and right there you open your next experience, patiently waiting and arousing energy. All you need to do is arousing energy, which means you are now mindful, and you let it arise. That's all. So, the feeling part always has to go to its own roots. Each feeling is, now this one was originated in the body, and now you have gone away from the body, but there is still joy. What is it based on? It's now based in the mind. And you notice it from internally, you have the mind, and then this joy present, which seems like something that occurred, something that you noticed from the mind, and you are now conscious on it, and there is a contact there, and it immediately tells you it's a pleasant feeling. And then with the pleasant feeling, perhaps craving may manifest, but if it is joy from jhana practice, you will stay with it for some time. You may crave it, but it may disappear, because conditions will make it disappear if you don't sustain to it long enough. Any questions on that?
Is any feeling is a good or bad? Or there should be neutral?
Feelings are three kinds, and you said those three kinds. What feeling are you talking about?
Any feeling, joy, sad, or anything.
Yeah, sad is obviously unpleasant. So, joy is pleasant, and then neutral feelings are there. Sometimes I lay my fingers here and I don't know whether it's pleasant or painful. I think it's neutral here. That's what we are talking about. So what is your question?
So how do you control those feelings? Or how do you just stop not to have a feeling?
Meditate. So through the guided meditation, you may discover, if you sit long enough patiently, that it's not you stopping, it's you making conditions so the feelings will subside. So the question of like, how do you stop? I think there is willpower in it, but we don't see using willpower in these discussions. So, and this of course connects with what we have been discussing yesterday and in the recent past. So you can ask these questions and we will be happy to answer. Okay. All right, so let's move on. What is your mood right now? More readings or practice? More reading? Okay. And then you will take a break and then come and sit. Monks, how does a practitioner remain established in the observation of the mind in the mind? Now from feelings you are coming to mind and you see what these are. When his mind is desiring, the practitioner is aware. Are you all reading with me? My mind is desiring. When his mind is not desiring, he is aware, my mind is not desiring. When his mind is hating something, he is aware, my mind is hating. When his mind is not hating, he is aware, my mind is not hating. When his mind is in a state of ignorance, he is aware, my mind is in a state of ignorance. When his mind is not in a state of ignorance, he is aware, my mind is not in a state of ignorance. When his mind is collected, he is aware, my mind is collected. Means you have concentration, tranquility, and you don't have restless thoughts. When his mind is not collected, he is aware, my mind is not collected. When his mind is distracted, he is aware, my mind is distracted. When his mind is not distracted, he is aware, my mind is not distracted. Which means, distracted means there is a hindrance, not distracted means you are free from that hindrance. Use your Dhamma knowledge in here. What is the hindrance here? Restlessness. You are distracted. Or you are in doubt. Right? Could be one of those two. When his mind has a wider scope, he is aware, my mind has widened in scope. Means you feel like your mind is big now. When his mind is capable of reaching a higher state, he is aware, my mind is capable of reaching a higher state. If you were not aware here, you will lose. And you will not even progress forward. There is awareness about, now I am ready to reach to a higher state. When his mind is not capable of reaching a higher state, he is aware, my mind is not capable of reaching a higher state at that time, but later it changes. When his mind is composed, he is aware, my mind is composed. We had the word collectedness and then we have now composed. Do you see any difference? Collected is more likely not too many thoughts. Composed, I think, is very tranquil and stilled, not sedated. Did you? Yeah, more balanced and stable and equanimity. When his mind is not composed, he is aware, my mind is not composed. When his mind is free, he is aware, my mind is free. When his mind is not free, he is aware, my mind is not free. So, that is the mind's practice. So, then the insight, Vipassana part comes. This is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the mind in the mind. Observation of the mind from inside of the mind or outside of the mind. Now you are dealing with things that are happening in the mind. or observation of the mind from both the inside and the outside. So, tell me what is inside and what is outside from what you just read. What is inside, what is outside? Are you leaving? Okay. Hope. Did you come for guided meditation or something? Oh, okay. Makes sense. And now take something for an example. What is an example? What I would take desiring, or I would take hating, or I would take ignorance. What is inside of that experience? Yes. Thank you. Mind itself is the internal thing, internal base. What is external? From one of the three? Take desire, for example. So, desire is external. So, it's visiting the mind now. Okay? And what is the connect? What makes what arises now? Before that, mind consciousness, right? So now you are seeing inside of the mind and outside of the mind, and observation of the mind from both the inside and outside. That is mind consciousness. He remains established in the observation of the process of coming to be. That's what you just told. Process of coming to be, which is now there was a mind, desire, mind consciousness, and then you said contact, right? Contact arising. So, contact happened as soon as the three things met, and then the feelings afterwards. And the process of dissolution in the mind. If there was no mind, no desire, right? You are noticing here when his mind is not distracted, he is aware. When his mind is distracted, he is aware. So, it came and it disappeared. These two needs to be observed. Now, there was this mind and there was the desire. Now, it's in the past tense. No consciousness arising, and that way no contact, no feeling, no desire. So, the dissolution, or both in the process of coming to be and the process of dissolution. It's arising and it's passing away. And then he is mindful that there is mind here until understanding and full awareness comes about. Why is it? Why is it there? You have this awareness that this mind exists, but you don't take it as your mind. It's just the mind. And then he remains established in the observation, free, not caught up in any worldly consideration. It's worldly as long as you associate with any of these. This is how to practice observation of the mind in the mind, right? Okay, now we are switching to the other part. Monks, how does a practitioner remain established in the observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind? So, now you were in the mind and you will see what are these objects of the mind. First of all, he observes the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 5 hindrances. How does he observe this? Please read. When sensual desire is present in him, he is aware sensual desire is present in me, or when sensual desire is not present in him, he is aware sensual desire is not present in me. When sensual desire begins to arise, he is aware of it. When sensual desire that has already arisen is abandoned, he is aware of it. So you abandon it. Very good. When sensual desire that has already been abandoned will not arise again in the future, he is aware of it. This is a self-observation and persisting with your pure state of mind. When anger is present in him, he is aware anger is present in him. When anger is not present in him, he is aware anger is not present in me. When anger begins to arise, he is aware of it. When anger that has already arisen is abandoned, he is aware of it. When anger that has already been abandoned will not arise again in the future, he is aware of it. Now tell me how that happens. Use the language that we have been talking. With right effort. Did you see now earlier in the third part, when you establish mindfulness based in the mind, there was talk about desire, and then there was talk about, what was the word they used for anger? Hatred, right? Hating. So now those two and these ones are connected, and if you take insight observation with this, how does, now you have abandoned anger, but then when anger that has already been abandoned will not arise again in the future, he is aware of it. This is talking about cessation here. This is talking about cessation, that if you don't set your focus on anger, it will not arise, but you also are aware with your insight awareness that when these conditions disappear, what conditions? Mind internally disappears, externally no such hindrance will occur in the mind, and no way consciousness can arise. That way no contact, no feeling, and it continues on. That is what you notice here, the cessation process, and how that could be, because you have an opening here. This is the Dhamma eye opening, wisdom eye opening. Now if conditions for these things to stop, then I will be free. I or the process will stop. This is a process, right? It stops. It has to stop, because there is no food for it to depend on. Continue on. When dullness and drowsiness are present in him, he is aware dullness and drowsiness are present in me. When dullness and drowsiness are not present in him, he is aware dullness and drowsiness are not present in me. When dullness and drowsiness begin to arise, he is aware of it. When dullness and drowsiness that have already arisen are abandoned, he is aware of it. When dullness and drowsiness that have already been abandoned will not arise again in the future, he is aware of it. When agitation and remorse are present in him, he is aware agitation and remorse are present in me. What is this hindrance? Uddhacca kukkucca. When agitation and remorse are not present in him, he is aware agitation and remorse are not present in me. When agitation and remorse begin to arise, he is aware of it. When agitation and remorse that have already arisen are abandoned, he is aware of it. When agitation and remorse that have already been abandoned will not arise again in the future, he is aware of it. When doubt is present in him, he is aware doubt is present in me. When doubt is not present in him, he is aware doubt is not present in me. When doubt begins to arise, he is aware of it. When doubt that has already arisen is abandoned, he is aware of it. When doubt, so there was a person who was doubting whether they were in the right place. I discovered that in interview. So that has to be their practice. And then you realize when doubt that has already been abandoned will not arise again in the future, he is aware of it. Now you have confidence that it's different way to look at it is that you are confident that now I have realized how doubt arises, I have seen the path, and now I don't have any doubts about it. This is like an entry to stream winner state. Because doubt is no longer present in that person. Because he or she is confident on what they have been doing. Agree? Stream winner is the first stage of becoming enlightened in the awakening process. So you begin now, you have no doubts about this human's process of coming to be and human's process of dissolution. Hard to see this, but you are seeing it. So, continue on. This is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind, observation of the objects of mind from inside the objects of mind or outside the objects of mind, or observation of the objects of mind from both the inside and the outside. He remains established in the observation of the process of coming to be in objects of mind, or the process of dissolution in the objects of mind, or both in the process of coming to be and the process of dissolution. Or he is mindful of the fact there is an object of the mind here until understanding and full awareness come about. So, he remains established in the observation, free, not caught up in any worldly consideration. That is how to practice observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to 5 hindrances. Okay. It's getting more interesting. Got 2 more pages to go. I'm wondering whether to continue. I've been talking about these things for a while, and I'm like, what am I doing here? So, and you were with me since yesterday, so. Shall we just read to the end and then begin our practice without stopping in any place, or what do you think? It's 2 pages to read. It's your retreat. Okay, raise your hand at places that you don't understand, okay? So I'll pretend like yeah.
I've always had some difficulty understanding the difference between the third foundation of mindfulness and the fourth. As you said, there are some points that are
Similar, overlapping.
Is the difference the depth of analysis in the fourth foundation, or you need to look at the
You need to look at the Pali words here in the third foundation, it talks about raga chitta, dvesha chitta, and moha chitta. Here it talks about kama chanda, which is chanda, desire for any sensual thing. And so raga is basically, they translated it as lust, desire, but it's lusting after things. When lust arises in mind, you are aware of it. And now this is basic kama chanda to any of the sense faculty. They do overlap, because you can have raga or sensual desire or lust for sounds that you hear, depending on how you experience the world. So in the fourth foundation, you are seeing. Now you wanted to know the difference between the third and the fourth foundation. In the fourth one, they are grouped into 5 hindrances, 5 aggregates, and 7 awakening factors, and 6 internal and 6 external sense bases. So these are given. Whereas in the third one, it's only lust, hatred, and delusion, and then mind becoming exalted, mind becoming shrunk, and that means there is hindrances present. If you take the hindrances and then the third foundation, then you will see it overlapping, but the fourth foundation is broader. It has more details, but the work we need to do is the same. If it is something that is bothering our practice, we need to see the cessation. How does this cease to end? That insight is a good insurance to have in your journey. Clear, or still having doubts, or what? Did I clear your? Yeah. You have a question? Foundation. More than 3. Lust, hatred, delusion, and exalted mind and contracted mind. If you want to go to the third one again on page, let me know what page it is. Page 5. See, desiring, hating, ignorance, collected mind, wide scope mind, and mind reaching to higher state. So all these things are there. What is mind reaching to higher state here? Jhana or samapatti, any of those. Insight is the same for everything. Vipassana is the same for everything. It only changes whether when it's a feeling, then you focus on feeling part more. Different objects. They are called, let's not call it mind objects. Let's call it things like 5 hindrances and different phenomena, aggregates. There's confusion there, because what is mind and what is mind objects? Do you have
I just heard a teaching where they said the fourth foundation is looking at phenomena using different frameworks, such as the hindrance framework,
Aggregates
framework,
and noble truths,
and
breaking them down. Yeah, there is more work in that fourth foundation. Got to be very mindful and be establishing mindfulness at the same time. So, yeah, Panchanivana, Kama, Chanda, and etc. Oh, more than 3 things actually. So, raga chitta, saragam va chittan, saragam chittanti pajanati, sadosang va chittan, sadosang chittanti pajanati, samohang va chittan, samohang chittanti pajanati, vita mohang va chittan, vita mohang chittanti pajanati, sankittang va chittan, sankittan, so sankitta chitta, abstracted mind, vikittang va chittan, so it's distracted mind, vikittan chittanti pajanati. Then Sauttaram Vachitta, mind reaching to higher states, Sauttaram Chittanti. So different minds experienced in different levels, Sauttaram Chittanti Pajanati, those ones. Yeah, yeah. Yes. More than 5 hindrances. It begins with 5 hindrances. It also has 7 awakening factors. So it's also about cultivating, and reaching to higher states. So mind observation gives you a foundation to catch when something arises, but the next part, the 4th part, gives you, like you said, frameworks to work on. Now this can be included into the 5 hindrances category, or you can say I can include this into the 7 awakening factors category, or this is where I work on 5 aggregates, or this is where I work on the noble truths, and all of it starts to work in the 4th foundation. You are reaching from the 3rd to 4th anytime, or back to the origin anytime, because human experience is unpredictable, and mind will be giving you jhanas. When you are, if you are aware, you can catch it, not you will ignore it. I think you will be clear when you finish it to the end. Okay, so let's go on. Where were we? Page 7. Okay. Further, the practitioner observes the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 5 aggregates of clinging. So 5 aggregates of clinging. The Pali is Pancha Upadana Skandha. How does he observe this? He observes like this. First, so Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. These are 5 aggregates. Remember that. So first one is Rupa, form. Such is form, such is the arising of form, such is the disappearance of form. So what forms? Ear forms, sound forms, and touch forms, and taste forms. These are considered forms in Dhamma language. So subtleties of form that maintains a gross body, awareness of a gross body, which is made of 4 elements. Such is feeling, such is the arising of feeling, such is the disappearance. Again, insight. Now you know a feeling arises preceding things that made the feelings to arise. It can be eye feeling, ear feeling, nose feeling, tongue feeling, any of these feelings. Such is perception, such is the arising of perception, such is the disappearance of perception. Sanya, such are mental formations. Sankara, such is the arising of mental formations, such is the disappearance of mental formations. Such is consciousness, such is the arising of consciousness, such is the disappearance of consciousness. Just like you are sitting somewhere really high and now you are looking, it's like watching a fish tank. See different fish going here and there. You are on the top You are the observer. You see these things arising, and this is how they arise, this is how they pass away. So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana, all these have the arising phenomena, passing away phenomena, and all you have in your toolbox is the stuff that you learned throughout this retreat. Nothing more. You don't need anything else. And then it says, this is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the objects of mind, in the objects of mind with regard to the 5 aggregates of clinging, observation of the objects of mind from inside the objects of mind or outside the object of mind, or observation of the objects of mind from both the inside and the outside. So take one and then see its origination and dissolution. He remains established in the observation of the process of coming to be in the object of mind, or the process of dissolution in the object of mind, or both in the process of coming to be and the process of dissolution. Or he is mindful of the fact there is an object of mind here for the understanding and full awareness, until the understanding and full awareness come about. He remains established in the observation, free, not caught up in any worldly consideration. That is how to practice observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 5 aggregates, monks. Further, monks, the practitioner observes the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 6 sense organs and 6 sense objects. See, I told you this will come. How does he observe this? He is aware of the eyes and aware of the form, so internal and external, and he is aware of the internal formations which are produced dependent on these 2 things. What is it? What? Huh? No. Eye consciousness. Eye consciousness. Okay, let me read it again. He is aware of the eye and aware of the form, right? Okay, and he is aware of the internal formations which are produced. So internally, what is produced dependent on these 2 things? Eye consciousness. At least one person is reading mindfully. He is aware of the birth of a new internal formation. What is that new internal formation? Again, because of this consciousness, there is contact, right? And based on contact, there is feelings. You are aware of all these processes. Same tools. And is aware of abandoning an already produced internal formation. You now need to abandon one of these things. You abandon consciousness, perception also is abandoned, feelings abandoned, you are free. You are now looking for an escape here. That's all you are doing. What is my escape? How can I run away from this? Looks like these things are arising and looks like I don't have an escape here. So now you are trying to escape from one of these, and if there's, this is your question, if there is an escape, it has to be either eye consciousness stopping or one of these things stopping, and now I should be free from it. I or this process should stop. And he is aware when an already abandoned internal formation will not arise again. Now you have reached to the cessation. Now you know after emerging from the cessation that I have gained freedom from it. So you need to either be in the cessation experience or in a samapatti experience, like one of the infinite consciousness, infinite space. These are also perceptions. We are now talking about internal and external objects and the cessation in that experience. So just if you are in infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, or in any of these states, and you have abandoned being involved with the I or anything to originate based on the I, you are in a samapatti state. That's it. Continue on. The practitioner is aware of the ears and aware of the sound. He is aware of the internal formations which are produced in dependence on these two things. What is it? Ear consciousness. He is aware of the birth of a new internal formation. It's something new is originating. Formation is aware of abandoning an already produced internal formation. So you are aware now this can be abandoned or has to be abandoned. He is aware when an already abandoned internal formation will not arise again. The practitioner is aware of the nose and aware of the smell and is aware of the internal formations which are produced in dependence on these two things. He is aware of the birth of a new internal formation and is aware of abandoning an already produced internal formation, and he is aware when an already abandoned internal formation will not arise again. The practitioner is aware of the tongue and aware of the taste, and he is aware of the internal formations which are produced in dependence on these two things. He is aware of the birth of a new internal formation and is aware of abandoning an already produced internal formation, and is aware when an already abandoned internal formation will not arise again. Say you are also letting go of now I will go to the next one, and there I will discuss this. The practitioner is aware of the body and aware of the object touched. Okay, that you understand, right? And he is aware of the internal formations, that is body consciousness, which are produced. Many body consciousnesses are produced, right, in dependence on these two things. What two things? Body and the objects that are touched. Okay, let me drink some water. Right. He is aware of the birth of a new internal formation. Let's say a perception arose, or vitakka, a thought, sanya or thought, vitakka arose. Sanya is perception, thought is vitakka, and is aware of abandoning it, that you are now wanting to abandon it, abandon the perception, abandon the thought. Why? You don't want it to become a proliferation. Okay? When you abandon it, you know that that internal formation called proliferation will not arise again. And now tell me, it's a process. Reaching to final awakening is a process. You are eliminating and seeing now that this will not arise again. You are experimenting with another thing, this will not arise again. It goes on. Okay? The practitioner is aware of the mind and aware of the objects of mind, and he is aware of the internal formations which are produced in dependence on these two things. Mind is also producing thoughts and perceptions. He is aware of the birth of a new internal formation that can be a perception or a thought, and is aware of abandoning an already produced internal formation. And he is aware when an already abandoned internal formation will not arise again. Aware that proliferation will not arise again, or you have reached to cessation, therefore you will not see it arising again. This is in a dhyana or in a meditation state. And now the Vipassana part. This is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the objects of the mind, in the objects of mind, with regard to the 6 sense organs and the 6 sense objects. Observation of the objects of mind from inside the objects of mind or outside the objects of mind, or observation of the objects of mind from both the inside and the outside. You use the knowledge on inside and outside. He remains established in the observation of the process of coming to be in the object of mind, or the process of dissolution in the object of mind, or both in the process of coming to be and the process of dissolution. Or he is mindful of the fact there is an object of mind here until understanding and full awareness come about. He remains established in the observation, free, not caught up in any worldly consideration. That is how to practice observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 6 sense organs and the 6 sense objects. We have explained this many times, so let's continue on. Further, monks, the practitioner remains established in the observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 7 factors of awakening. How does he remain established in the practice of observation of the 7 factors of awakening? What is the first one? When the factor of awakening, mindfulness is present in him, he is aware mindfulness is present in me. When mindfulness is not present in him, he is aware mindfulness is not present in me. He is aware when not yet born mindfulness is being born, and when already born mindfulness is perfectly developed. Good practice here. When the factor of awakening in investigation of phenomena, we have been doing it throughout this retreat, investigating the phenomena, right? He is present in him, he is aware, investigation of phenomena is present in me. So, Dhamma Vichaya is what you are doing in this retreat. Can be called Dhamma Vichaya retreat, investigation of phenomena retreat. When investigation of phenomena is not present in him, he is aware investigation of phenomena is not present in me. He is aware when not yet born investigation of phenomena is being born, and when already born investigation of phenomena is perfectly developed. When the factor of awakening energy, we did that today morning in the practice, is present in him, he is aware energy is present in me. When energy is not present in him, he is aware energy is not present in me. He is aware when not yet born energy is being born, and when, so you notice that in your practice, not yet, so the energy that is not born is now being born, is born, and when already born energy is perfectly developed. When the factor of awakening joy is present in him, he is aware joy is present in me. When joy is not present in him, he is aware joy is not present in me. He is aware when not yet born joy is being born, and when already born joy is perfectly developed. When the we were at, why are they translating it as ease? This is passaddhi, okay? The 5th one is passaddhi. When the factor of awakening, I would say tranquility. Shall we go with the word tranquility here? Ease is also good. Okay, we will go with what is here. When the factor of awakening ease is present in him, he is aware ease is present in me. when ease is not present in him, he is aware ease is not present. I think Shamali Nona had this experience. You were still, and you both were ready to continue after 50 minutes of meditation, right?
I did that.
So what was present in you? This was present in you. Oh, I'm presenting it to you now. It looks like it wasn't present.
No.
Don't always wait for somebody to present it. You have it already. Use it. When ease is not present in him, he is aware ease is not present in him. He is aware when not yet born ease is being born, and when already born ease is perfectly developed. When the factor of awakening concentration is present in him, he is aware concentration is present in me. That is samadhi. When you get into samadhi, you are aware of it. When concentration is not present in him, which means when jhanas disappear, he is aware jhana is not present in me. When he is aware when not yet born, jhana is being born, and when already born, jhana is perfectly developed. So jhana needs to be perfected. Mastery over jhana is important. You can have the jhana and you can master it. Don't question whether jhanas are necessary or not. When instructions say what you all need to do is notice when it is there. Not to be too proud. Oh, I have jhana. Yay, I have jhana. Not necessary. Useless. Just noticing when it is present. Okay. This is actually last one supposed to be equanimity, but they translated it as letting go. Upekka is the Pali. When the factor of awakening, do you want to read it as letting go? But remember, this is equanimity, okay? Upekka. When the factor of awakening, letting go, is present in him, he is aware letting go is present in me. When letting go is not present in him, he is aware letting go is not present in me. He is aware when not yet born, letting go is being born, and when already born, letting go is perfectly developed. Why is it translated as letting go? I think I get an idea here. So imagine you had joy, and now the joy has disappeared. What is left is equanimity. So you let go. It's just like you are okay with it. Now it disappeared, and you are like, I can't do anything about it. It had its own life. Oh, it's snowing again. And it disappeared. Sorry to distract you all from a deep discussion. So, joy and what else? No. Sukha. Vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha. So, joy and sukha, happiness, they disappear. You are in the third jhana, and in the second, especially in first, second jhanas, joy and sukha or bliss is very intense, but their nature is to disappear, and you are like letting go. You don't have to let go, it disappeared, but you stay okayed with it. Yeah? You are okay, balanced with it, equanimity. And the Vipassana part. This is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the objects of mind, with regards to the 7 factors of awakening, Sapta Bodhanga. Observation of the objects of mind from inside the objects of mind or outside the objects of mind, or observation of the objects of mind from both the inside and the outside. He remains established in the observation of the process of coming to be in the object of mind, or the process of dissolution in the object of mind, or both in the process of coming to be and the process of dissolution. Or he is mindful of the fact there is an object of mind here, until understanding and full awareness come about. He remains established in the observation, free, not caught up in any worldly consideration. That is how to practice observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 7 factors of awakening. Now you come to noble truth. Further, monks, a practitioner remains established in the observation of objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the 4 noble truths. So, dhamme dhammanupasse vihirati. How monks does the practitioner remain established in the observation of the 4 noble truths? A practitioner is aware this is suffering as it arises. He is aware this is the cause of the suffering as it arises. He is aware this is the end of suffering as it arises. He is aware this is the path which leads to the end of suffering as it arises. Now, stop there, don't go. Explain this to me now. With your Vipassana knowledge. Can I pick anybody here? All of you should be able to explain this to me based on the discussion we had in these 2 days or just few minutes ago. Okay. This is the cause of suffering. Pick from any sense door. You had the eye internally, you had a form externally. You see the origin, right? And you became conscious on it. You see the origin, right? And then what came? Contact originated. And then what? Feelings originated. Now you see the causes. And what do you want to end here? The end. This is how, and then you are aware that this is the end of suffering. What is it? If there was no I, no form, no consciousness, no contact, no feelings, no craving. So no craving part is important, because for you to end it, the cause of suffering is, you saw that process too. The second one, I missed that, sorry. The cause of suffering part, explain that to me. Craving came about because of those things, right? Feelings, and then preceding that was contact, preceding that was one of the consciousnesses based on internal and external causes. 4 Noble Truth is right there. Right? Did anyone see that in your reading? You saw it? If you saw it, you are smart. You are Dhamma smart. You are ready to almost graduate. And then you are seeing the end of suffering. And then you are seeing this is the path which leads to the end of suffering. You see, you have been seeing the path every day, every time we discuss this process. What is the path? The Eightfold Path. You practice right speech, right view, you come to the right view, and just forget all of that. But in the end of that path, what do you have? Samma Samadhi, right concentration. What is that? In 7 awakening factors, you just went through all of that. You had effort, you had joy, you had that letting go, which is equanimity. You went through jhanas there. So you see that now I have right speech, I have right view, I am seeing the end of it, I am seeing the path, I am seeing the process. You are seeing it, nobody has to tell you anymore. You don't have to listen to 100 monks in YouTube anymore. You can teach those monks. Now you are seeing it. You can analyze it. You are confident on it. Get it once and for all, and you will stop looking in every place like a mad hatter, running here, running there, going to this retreat, going to that retreat, running to this temple, Thai temple, Tibetan temple. All those will stop when you see it here. Agree? Yes. It's not in the temple, it is here. That's what I tell you. Don't come again. So we can be free. That's what the Buddha did. He went to one place, taught this, and he didn't stay there. That's what I want to do. Not stay with these people anymore. If you don't get it, there's no point of us repeating it, right? You see that? Yeah, that's the point. You got to get it. This is how the practitioner remains established in the observation of the objects of mind, with regard to the Four Noble Truths. Observation of the objects of mind from inside the objects of mind or outside the objects of mind, or observation of the objects of mind from both the inside and outside. See, again, the same process. You see the inside, outside, and see the process of arising, see the process of cessation. He remains established in the observation of the process of coming to be in the objects of mind, or the process of dissolution in the objects of mind, or both in the process of coming to be in the process of dissolution. Or he is mindful of the fact there is an object of mind here until understanding and full awareness come about. He remains established in the observation, free, not caught up in any worldly consideration. That is how to practice observation of the objects of mind in the objects of mind with regard to the Four Noble Truths. Now, catch it if you can. Monks, so when I said catch it if you can, I'm saying there's a word here. I don't know if this translation is representing that. The Buddha says, monks, if you do it this way, you will get to the following result. Test that evang bhaveya. If you develop it this way, it's very, very important. Why? Because people do it on their own different ways, and it never works. Has to be done this way. Then only it brings you to this result. What result? Please read. Monks, he who practices the 4 establishments of mindfulness for 7 years can expect one of 2 fruits. The highest understanding in this very life, which is arahantship, or if there remains some residue of affliction, he can attain the fruit of non-return, which is anagami state. Not returning to indulge in any of these. Now you have seen so much that you don't see any purpose of returning. Let alone 7 years, monks, whoever practices the 4 establishments of mindfulness for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 years, or 1 year, can also expect one of 2 fruits, either the highest understanding in this very life, or if there remains some residue of affliction, he can attain the fruit of non-return. That's really good, anagami fruit, the phala. Let alone 1 year, monks, whoever practices the 4 establishments of mindfulness for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 or 2 months, 1 month or half a month, can also expect one of 2 fruits, either the highest understanding in this very life, or if there remains some residue of affliction, he can attain the fruit of non-return. let alone half a month, monks. Whoever practices the 4 establishments of mindfulness 1 week can also expect one of 2 fruits, either the highest understanding in this very life, or if there remains some residue of affliction, he can attain the fruit of non-return. That is why we said that this path, the path of the 4 grounds for the establishment of mindfulness, is the most wonderful path, which helps beings realize purification, transcend grief and sorrow, destroy pain and anxiety, travel the right path, and realize nirvana. The monks were delighted to hear the teaching of the Buddha. They took it to heart and began to put it into practice. What happens nowadays is people listen to it, drop it there, go home and come back again, mouth open, wanting us to repeat the same thing again and again. So it didn't happen to me because I learned it and I have it here. That's why I tell you, do the same. You will be confident on your Dhamma, and you will even be willing to discuss with others because you have it in your understanding. I'm saying it with compassion, not to confront you or anything. And we don't have to be teaching it at the same place every day. It's unnecessary. That proves that I am a dumb monk if I do that every day. It has to be one time you get it, discuss it, practice it, and you have it. That's it. The translation is very nice here. To reach to the highest understanding of a human's full potential of reaching to awakening. Questions? That leads to 7 factors of awakening? Yeah, you can say that. Or to final awakening. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you just eliminate from proliferations to perception to feelings to contact, I'm trying to understand. So
that's not how it happens. If you read the Loka Sutra, and that's why I read it again today because you came actually, and it says on page 1, now from the remainderless cessation and fading away of that very craving. So what we end is craving. And I also explained this morning and afternoon again this thing which needs, so I'm forming your question here. So I use the word shrinking all the sensory experiences to nothing. There's no way you leave a chance for craving to arise, because internal and external don't meet. No consciousness is produced. It may not come to you. Do you get what I'm saying? Probably, yeah.
I guess to respond to
at the feeling point.
The feeling point will become equanimous with the feeling, and not start to change.
Invite
Break with the cravings and okay, if you can accept the feeling.
two questions. Is it possible, or why do you choose feelings?
That sounds a lot
Why,
easier than
why don't you
cutting
choose consciousness?
Well, I'm just curious about that. Sounds like the cutting consciousness could be done in a samadhi or in a
Yes, yes.
deep state of
Mhm.
meditation, but in life, I don't see how it could be done.
In life, you can do any of these things, and your preconditioning will bring you awakened in general life, but don't expect too much in general life. So
If you can be equanimous at the feeling stage, maybe you don't have as much craving.
equanimity at the feeling stage is again being neutral, and there is a person being neutral there, and you get caught up in the identity view. So, right. But his question is not that.
So that's what I was trying to understand, how he sees you. So what is the that you have great change and so I was thinking that if you can break from the beginning, that is the best, but it's really hard to do. And in my
Yeah.
mind,
Like catching the snake from the tail.
so if you can, because you have sensory information anyways, you can't close your eyes and walk outside. And so when you have these external and internal factors combined with the contact, then can you have, your mind stop the feelings, or whether before that.
You can't stop any of that. This is nothing to do with you stopping, you controlling, no willpower here. We can only make conditions to arise for them to disappear. When it disappears, you have the understanding that, oh, this has now been disappeared.
So what
How
basically what I
is
want-
through the, like you said, 7 awakening factors, or reach into the deeper jhanas.
So I was, my understanding is the 7 awakening factors give you the understanding of what you actually look into your mind.
No, it also brings you to samadhi levels, right? Dhamma, then virya, piti, passaddhi, these are about first, second jhanas. And there you are eliminating a lot, right? Vitakka vichara is eliminated in this, like thinking and examining, gone in the second jhana itself.
So that's where I think curiosity is going in these, in these jhanas.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get from one to the next by eliminating? You have to eliminate Vitakka,
They get eliminated with your patience and staying.
So basically, is it
Huh? Yeah, letting go as well.
so when you develop these 7 awakening factors, you can, is it the way to eliminate this?
You can say that, but based on 4 truths, that's also a way to eliminate. So when I say 4 truths here, cessation is experience. If you are having or observing the cessation when you are in one of the attainments, samapattis, say neither perception nor non-perception, you are having a high chance here to see one of the cessation experiences. So perception, feeling and consciousness, they disappear when you have nothing to be conscious on, even in that so take neither perception nor non-perception as a perception. And even if that is not there, then you have you have nothing to be conscious on. So what disappears? Perception disappears, feeling disappears. Everything that originates with it disappears. You disappear.
So, maybe this practice means any meditation objects or anything to praying or anything to that,
This whole sutra. You begin with breathing, and it's that simple, and you go with the Dhamma awareness, Dhamma knowledge. You don't really use, it's not a, well, everything is an object here, kammatana, like asubha is kamma, asubha is seeing the body's nature. All these are objects. We don't have one particular object that goes with it. Welcome back. So, we don't have one particular object. Like within this practice also, we saw our practice yesterday was different from our guided meditation today. And we have to use different tools in the journey, and some tools we have to drop into the river and let go of them. Good desire, but no quick fix.
I was going to say the same thing. We understand. It's not that we don't understand, but we want.
Yeah, you want quick noodles. We don't have that. Because it took so long to create this person named Pujita, and he has to take a similar amount of effort and time to end this man called Pujita. And the tools are the tools within your sensory experiences. Good luck on that. You cannot. You cannot cease them. So you need to be able to understand that we are not doing it. We are letting it happen. We are not ceasing. I think your point is like you are trying to catch one thing and then end it, like using a pair of scissors and cutting this, and then you will be free from the rest. It has to be preconditioned that way, and when preconditioned, such other following conditions will not arise. Subsequent process will not arise. Oh, he didn't say that. Did you say ceasing 7 factors of enlightenment? No, he's talking about ceasing consciousness or ceasing feeling or something.
So you make the condition, it automatically gets ceased.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying.
Well, you see that they got ceased because of the conditions that originated based on your samadhis. When we say samadhi, you are talking about the 4 jhanas in Dhamma language. When you talk about samapattis, you are talking about 4 attainments: infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, neither perception nor non-perception. Keep those in mind. Yeah.
So just like he was asking
asked about the feelings too. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's
No, I mean in the dependent origination process.
right. You can't stop feelings. Have you done that? Okay, speak about something you have done then. At least. It's not you stopping feelings, not you stopping any of that. You are seeing the process and you are aware that this is what happens, and you enter into jhana and samapatti levels, and now you see for real how, because of your jhana experiences, that these things no more. And even there, you don't go and catch and seize any of these. It's not you doing it, please. Anatta here. You want to take nirvana under control. That doesn't happen. You are trying to take something that is non-existent under control. No kidding, this is the truth. Feelings, how do you stop feelings? Has anyone done that?
We all be very analytical about this.
Right.
Instead of accepting this
Exactly.
concept as it's a concept
Oh, Pujita Mahatma is a god of analysis. My goodness. I know that. So right. Because that's what you have been doing all your life. We don't have nirvana engineers here who only engineers the Buddha, and he didn't even mention any of that here. He didn't even mention stopping feelings at any place.
I think it can be done through proper understanding and practice.
Exactly, that's all we need to know. So, yes. Yes, and now you will ask the question, okay, why some people say samadhis are necessary? Why some people say samadhis are not necessary? Why some people say, oh, you don't care about, jhanas? For some people, it's not a necessity, they are there.
But whether you want it or not, it is going to come when you practice.
Exactly, whether you want it or not, it's going to come. You only become aware of it, and you don't jump here and there and say, oh, I have this, I have that. It's just you are seeing it, but you are not those people. We want it. We want to go through that process because we are not seeing it the way they are seeing. That therefore we need the samadhis. Take a break, please. Okay, so come back. Maybe it's good time for tea break. Do some walking and come and sit at 3. So we go up to 3:45, and then after that, questions. How about that? Okay. Do some walking and switching to. You will switch to sitting at 3 here. Okay. You shouldn't have any questions.